So we need to come with expecting faith. And in James, there's a few types of expectant faith. There's a prayer faith. In James, it talks about, it says, and the prayer offered in faith will make the sick person well. Okay? Now, it doesn't put us everything on us. It's not like Hero. You ever see Hero on, Heroes? You know how he kind of, and then he goes somewhere in the future or past or something like that. We don't have to do that with faith, okay? It's like, oh, okay, I got to have the prayer faith right now. You healed? No, but you are really weird praying for me. We don't have to do that. It's not like that. It's the prayer of faith is, one, if you have faith of a mustard seed, right? You just praying in some ways is a prayer of faith, isn't it? But when you add that expectation that maybe today's the day God's going to use me to heal somebody, wow, kind of boosts it up a little bit, doesn't it? And then when you see it, I haven't seen a lot of healing. So you know what? I talked to Ramon. He said, Ramon, I got to pray for a sick person, man. Whew. How many sick people you see? Oh, we see all that every Sunday. Well, why don't you pray with me? So I can see one and maybe my faith can, increase a little bit. Does that make sense to you? The prayer of faith. Jesus also indicated some sickness would not be healed without prayer and fasting. There's some stuff that goes on and I don't get it, and you need to pray and fast for. Now, Sean and Sandra, Sunday nights have this prayer thing. If you want to know about prayer, if you want to pray for intercession, come. Okay? This is a praying church. So if you say this isn't a praying church, it's not that we're not a praying church. You're just not joining to pray with the church. Okay? So you can say we don't pray, but what I would say is you're not praying. So there's something that goes on every Sunday night. They have the whole place, and that's the focus. And Sunday mornings at 9 or 9:30. Sorry. I can't remember. There's another prayer meeting. Matthew talked about fasting. He's going to give some insight with fasting for those of you who don't understand. Fasting is what? Hard. Why? Because you're hungry. Okay? It's very, very hard. Just remember that. But he's going to teach on some of that stuff. So the whole aspect of we need to have this expectant faith. And then lastly, as we're being prayed for, we need to agree a little bit. There's this thing called agreement where Jesus seemed at times to be limited by people's faith. Now, again, don't ask me how it works. I'm just telling you what happened, okay? It's kind of like we get up in the morning and we turn off our alarm clock, right? Do you really know how that alarm clock works? Do you know how it's put together? Do you know how things are soldered inside? Do you know how it interacts with the power coming out of the outlet? Maybe one or two of you do, okay? But we just turn it off and on and look at the time, don't we? That's kind of like what I'm talking about. I don't, so don't come up to me and say, well, how I don't know how it works. But I know we're supposed to do it and trust that power cord plugged in to the wall, that the circuits are actually on and the power is coming through, and so pray, right? Kind of like you trust that at 7 a.m. it's still going to be working and wake you up. So we kind of have to be in agreement with, as we're being prayed for, that God might do something special today for me. With me, dunamis, discernment, and expectant faith. I couldn't figure a D word, so I really tried hard, because the next one is disappointment. All right? Now this is a big one, disappointment. Why are some people not healed? And some people are. Well, the first thing is some healing takes time, right? Take emotional healing, for example. If it took you 25 years to get all messed up, and you're healed in 3 years, that's pretty good. Don't you think? 25-3, 25-3. Heck, I'll take 25-25. Then I can die almost healed. And then I can blame God for everything else. Okay. You know how it works. We all blame God for something. So healing takes time, especially emotional healing. Emotional healing is really a mystery, because like I was sharing beforehand and this is part 2 of disappointment, is we live in a fallen world, and we're all decaying. Okay? Now, some of you who are really, really young, you haven't reached your physical, if you will, peak yet. But people who are on the other side starting to go, you know how to say, you're a little older and you're not exactly 20 anymore. Okay, I'm in that circumstance. You know, you realize you live in a decaying world. Because suddenly you get up and it's like, whoa, wow, I used to do that all the time. I wrestle with Josiah. I come out beat up and battered and bruised. And I say to myself, I should have stretched before I played with him. When I was 20, I didn't have to stretch to, play. So, but what I'm trying to say is, since we live in a fallen world and a decaying world, somebody's always going to hurt you and sin against you, right? And guess what? That's a new wound. I can be 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, and somebody still can hurt me. And at that point in time, what's going to need to happen? I'm going to need to be healed again. Why? Because we're all in repair, right? So this is just normal life. And then there's going to be sometimes my eyes are getting bad. You can pray for them, but something in this ovalness, you need to pray for my eyes to get round then. Because something with age, your eyes get more and more oval, you can't see. And I'm in the midst of studying this because I'm trying contacts, and I wear contacts, and I say, I can't see. Well, they say you need glasses. Well, if I need glasses, why do I need contacts? Because they said no matter what, when you get older, for a close seeing, you're going to need glasses. Even if I get it operated on? Even if you get it operated on. You understand? So we're in a decaying world, so we'll always need prayer. And then lastly, and here's my best answer, is we don't know. Say it. We don't know. Okay? I mean, really, that's the most honest thing. I remember when I was a young man, after I prayed for this demon, I was like, cool, man. I'm powerful. I cast a demon out of an older gal. You're leaning on a Timothy scripture when you're young. Don't let anybody say you're young. You can still do the things. You know what I'm saying. I've been there too. So I was on a high, and then somebody in our midst, got saved through this band, Holy Soldier. Somebody got in a gnarly wreck, young guy. And then sitting in a hospital bed, just dying. It's terrible. But I was filled with faith. I got 30 people fired up. I don't know how. I got 30. I got 30 people fired up. Said, we're going to see this guy healed today. I believe it. I know it. It's going to happen. Some people even fasted. I didn't fast. No way. But, I was not a fast. I'm still not a faster, but don't tell anybody. So we all went, 30 of us in this hospital room. We piled in. I had some people playing worship song. The power, you could feel God's presence there. It was powerful, undeniable. And then we prayed for this kid, knowing he's going to be healed. And he wasn't healed on the spot. That's okay. God heals the body. It's fine. We're going to get a phone call, healed. And guess what? We got a phone call, said he died. We don't know why. And when we pretend we do, we create theologies, split churches, start this, start that. And we just need, in some ways like the celebratory worship, we just need to humble ourselves and say, you know what? We're going to pray. And we're going to love you. But if you're not healed, I don't know why. And not make excuses for it or against it. Just do what God has to do.